On episode 11 of Lancaster Connects, we're joined by Ann Williams from Lancaster City Alliance and Chris Trendler from Decades. We'll also have our local events rundown, our food truck alert, how you can help your local community, our pet of the week, a local history nugget, and a tip on how to sleep better and your chance to win one of two $25 gift cards to a local Lancaster restaurant. That's all coming up on episode 11 of Lancaster Connects.
So how can you support the local Lancaster community? That's what this show is all about. Coming to you from the Dream Room at Gardner's Mattress & More, Lancaster Connects is brought to you by the Sleep Better book. We'll actually mail you a copy, a free copy. Go to gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. Got to get that dash in there.
We do. Yes, we do. Did you know that when you go to a website, everything after the / does have to be typed correctly?
Isn't everything before the slash have to be typed correctly too?
You just won't get there.
Right, okay.
But then the problem is after the / you'll just kind of recycle back to where you were.
I got you. Yeah. So how many years of using the internet? Yeah. We've learned something new.
That's right. Kind of needs to be. That's why you'll find yourself back on the homepage of whatever site you're on, if they have the website set up properly.
That's right.
Yeah. So we've got a really great show all about, we got two great guests about what it's like to do business in Lancaster. We're actually a Lancaster City business.
Yeah, we're like on the most forgotten corner of Lancaster City.
Wednesday is our 10-year anniversary of being in these four walls, and we often confuse Manheim Township and Lancaster City with who should tax us.
That's right.
Because we'll get a notice from both, and then we have to write back, no, for the 10th year in a row. I'm actually looking forward to it. For the 10th year in a row, you need to update your records.
We are technically Lancaster City.
We are Lancaster City, and we are proud to have some great Lancaster City folks on with Ann Williams and Chris Trendler. So Ann and Chris, we're happy to have you. We'll welcome you on here in a second. We're going to be talking. Well, we'll welcome you on now. How about that? Hello.
Hi.
Chris from Decades, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's good. So we've got an exciting show. Thanks for joining us. We're really excited to talk about all things Lancaster City today, and what's fun about doing business here, why businesses seem to thrive here if they have a good plan, a good value to offer, whoever their customer might be. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. We've got what's going on in and around Lancaster. Of course, a quick tip on Sleep Better and how you can help your neighbors by joining our Lancaster Connects community, which is something that's really important to us because we want people to, if you can't give back monetarily, we've all got time, and hopefully you can help some of the great charities. We've got a great pet of the week, a bonded pair of dogs, Cain and Abel.
Hopefully Cain and Abel's story works out a little bit better than the biblical version.
Yes, I think so. If they're bonded, for sure, they're good. We've got a local history nugget and our weekly restaurant gift card giveaway. So what I want you to do is always remember, sharing is caring. So remember, this show is available as a podcast. Find the links at lancasterconnects.com. Please like and share this video. Leave a comment. And tell a friend about this show. So now was the time, Ann and Chris, I was to formally welcome you to the show.
That's so much better.
We had a premature introduction.
A premature intro, yes. So welcome. I'm glad our guests are laughing. That's good. Happy guests are always good guests.
Yep. Ann Williams is from the Lancaster City Alliance, and Chris Trendler is from Decades, which is a really cool bowling alley and arcade, boutique bowling alley. Correct, Chris?
That is correct. Just a little bit smaller than regular bowling.
Very cool.
We only have 6 lanes, so.
I got you. I do have a question. Are you Big Lebowski fans at Decades?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we do sell quite a few White Russians, and
there you go.
Hopefully not so much swearing during times when families are in there.
Have you ever thought about hosting a Big Lebowski bowling event where you show the movie and do the bowling?
Yeah, we have thought about doing that. It's tough. It's tough space to get a projector in there and have it be super visible. So, but yeah, it would be fun, and I think we'd have a good turnout for that. So maybe it's something that we'll
you'd
do
at least
summer.
you'd at least have one attendee and me.
We did buy a couple of very nice decorative rugs just to tie the room together, so we already have that ready.
Yes, very good.
Nice.
You made my day.
And Anne, as I understand it, you have known Chris for a little while. Is that right? You were a part of helping Decades as the concept was brought to town. Is that right?
Yes, I mean, I got to know Chris and the Decades concept as they were kind of implementing, and they had to oversee the restoration, I guess, of the Star Armory, which was a wonderful project and a space that was underutilized. And Chris and his team came in and put it back on the map. And so that's how I got to know them. And then Chris and I bump into each other during restaurant week and just other kind of events that involve restaurants throughout Lancaster City.
Very cool. Well, we're gonna have you give some feedback throughout the show. Your thoughts on events and food trucks and things that we've got going on. If anything kind of grabs your interest, certainly chime in. But we'll throw it to you as we do each rundown. But right now, we're going to jump into this week's local events.
So we've got a bunch of events, but we do have a quick news update.
Well, before we do that, though,
I jump the gun?
You did. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, you did.
Man.
We go through a lot on these events, and some people have involved email addresses and websites, but don't stress about it because we'll give you all that in our show notes. So remember, all info and links are available on the website and via email each week. You get that email, you get all the information, you get the show notes by entering our giveaway at lancasterconnects.com. There you can subscribe to the weekly email update and get all the information that we send out. So you have all of this great stuff. It'll be all clickable links in the show notes, the full recap of the episode, some clips of the episode, so you can get just what you want when you want it.
LancasterConnects.com.
Lancaster Connect. Yeah, the most important part. LancasterConnects.com.
I'm here for something.
Yeah. Well, when it's red on the screen, the script monkey can't think. But when it's green, hey, everything's good.
That's right. Green means go, though.
Green means go. Let's do the events. You go first.
We got an news update. The Regal Movie Theater, and probably all theaters across Lancaster County and other places. Regal Movie Theaters is reopening in the Lebanon Valley Mall on May 21st. They're just up Route 72, north of Mannheim, 2200 Lebanon Valley Mall Road in Lebanon. So good to see theaters. I saw in the Lancaster newspaper, the Fulton Theater is opening up, which is fantastic. I'm sure Sight and Sound, American Music Theater, all the places that couldn't host entertainment in the last year, plus they're opening up, which is fantastic to see.
A little more locally, we probably should plug Penn Cinema there by the airport. I'm sure you can check them out, see what they're up to. But yeah, it's good to start to return to some normalcy here. Pop-up book up. Book it up.
Put that on the blooper reel.
Wasn't that a thing in elementary?
Book it.
Book it was the thing.
I loved that.
Yeah.
They actually did it. So I'm sorry to sidetrack. But yeah, Pizza Hut, my daughter, when she was in Penn Manor School District, they did Book It. This was just like 5 years ago. So we got Pizza Hut certificates and went to Pizza Hut. Felt like 1985.
It did. I'm sure it was like a time warp.
It was. It actually was.
So anyway, pop-up book sale. Friday, May 21st, 10 to 5, there'll be a pop-up book sale held outdoors at the Ephrata Public Library. We had Penny Talbert on the show last week. Great things the library is doing. All proceeds benefit the library, and the event is sponsored by JD's Pizza. 550 South Reading Road in Ephrata is where the library is located. You can go to ephratapubliclibrary.org for info and more events. And JD's Pizza, since they're helping out their website, jdspazopizza.com.
Music Friday in Lancaster City is the third Friday of the month, Music Friday, from May 21st through the month of September. The City of Lancaster and Music for Everyone will host Music Friday event series. This year, due to COVID, the music is going to be on mobile music trucks that will make their way across town, bringing music to downtown and your neighborhood. That's pretty cool. You can follow Music for Everyone on Facebook at MFE Lancaster, and their website is musicforeveryone.org.
That is a very cool tweak. You know, I like to say the last 15 months has given people in your personal life, if you're in a business, own a business, work somewhere, you can either make excuses or you can level up. That is a fantastic level
Pretty cool.
up. Music on trucks going around town, that's pretty darn cool. You know, I've seen instances of people, and it was actually, I guess, as I was going around downtown to buy gift cards, there was somebody set up shop playing music, just a little powered speaker. I know grocery shopping back May, June of last year, April, May, my local grocery store, there was a gentleman playing the keyboards, just rocking out. It put smiles on people's faces. Music is great, and that's pretty awesome. Congrats to anybody involved with that. That's very smart. I like it. Strasburg Railroad, the return of an American icon, May 21st. Norfolk Western Class J 611 steam locomotive will run the rails at the historic Strasburg Railroad. That's, of course, in our beautiful countryside here of Amish country. Join them for the summer excursion rides, in-cab experiences, cab tours, and more. Dates available through October 2nd, strasburgrailroad.com. And of course, that's 301 Gap Road in Ronks is the official address.
We have an official opening day for the Classy Crab, not to be confused with the Krusty Krab from SpongeBob.
No.
Classy. Yeah.
Classy. Yeah.
Classy Crab. They have their official opening day for the 2021 season. That will be May 21st at 10 a.m. Classy Crab offers high quality, fresh, live, or steamed blue crabs at an affordable price. They are located at 3 Ruby Street in Lancaster, and you can find more information about them. And they're opening at theclassycrab.com. Are you a crab guy?
I like crab. Mm-hmm. I don't like, personally, I think it's a lot of work to eat.
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I like crab a lot.
Good.
The big guy likes crab. Yeah.
You know my preference for land mammals versus sea creatures. But
I do.
I like a crab cake. Can't say I've ever done the crab experience, like
The whole cracking and
so
thing,
maybe
spread out the sheet on the picnic table and just mess it up. That's awesome.
Maybe I got to give it a try.
It's fun. Yep. You know, listen, if you're in Lancaster and on the end of the day, May 21st, you say, you know, today was kind of a boring day. I didn't do much. Your fault. Tons of great events going on. On May 26th now, Lancaster History Museum is reopening. All Lancaster History, I'm sorry, let me restart that. Lancaster History Museum is reopening on May 26th. At the museum, you'll learn about Lancaster County, its 300 years of fascinating history, from the extraordinary lives of the 15th U.S. President James Buchanan and abolitionist Congressman Thaddeus Stevens, to the struggles and triumphs of ordinary Americans. The campus of history has stories, exhibitions, learning opportunities for every visitor. Purchase your tickets today for tours, exhibitions, programs, and more. Website, lancasterhistory.org, 230 North President Avenue in Lancaster. It's a good thing we do this for free for these folks, because if they paid for this, my goodness, refund city.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that has trouble reading.
My goodness.
Saturday, we got a cruise-in car show. Saturday, May 22nd, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Next Gen Senior Center is having their cruise-in car show. It's a non-formal car show, meaning there are no trophies. Everyone is a winner. Everybody gets a ribbon. There's no registration fee. It is donation only. And the proceeds from the donations go towards Next Gen Senior Center programs to help keep seniors healthy and happy. They'll have door prizes as well. It's a pull-in, relax sort of event to show off the beauty of the cars, trucks, and motorcycles. The event is at Next Gen's Community Center, which is located at 184 Lime Street in Quarryville. You can find them on Facebook, Next Gen Community Center. Just put that in the search bar. And you can check out their events on Facebook for more information. Or go to LancasterConnects.com and you can see our show notes for a more direct link to them. Their phone number is 717-786-4770 for more information.
Connected to that event, not only do you have the car show, but you have a farmers market and craft show also as part of that. Again, admission is free. They'll have various vendors and crafts, as well as food vendors. We'll have a list of all the food trucks that'll be there a little later in the show. But again, that's at the Next Gen Community Center on Lime Street in Quarryville. You can find them on Facebook, Next Gen Community Center, or on LancasterConnects.com.
Another car show, Cruise In for a Cure, is a car show by Misfits on a Mission Relay for Life team. That is also Saturday, May 22nd. So if you're a car person, maybe you could do both. Hit the Quarryville one and shoot up to Terre Hill Community Park, Relay for Life benefit and car show, supporting the Relay for Life team, Misfits on a Mission. They've got food trucks, vendors, raffles. Again, we'll tell you what the food trucks will be in our food truck rundown. All the proceeds from the day's event benefit the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life team, Misfits on a Mission. Admission is free. The event is from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The car show is 10 to 2. They've got DJ Timbo playing between 10 and 2. And again, the proceeds from the day event or benefit the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life team called Misfits on a Mission. You can find them on Facebook at Misfits on a Mission, or you can head to LancasterConnects.com, look in the show notes, and we'll send you, or you'll see a link in there for them. Terre Hill Community Memorial Park is located at 210 Lancaster Avenue in Terre Hill.
You always get the long ones like that.
Yeah. I don't know if I made it longer myself. I probably did.
I think you did.
But
it's funny. I'm kind of here, like starting to giggle. I was going to make a sign. He always gets the long ones in point. But at any rate, speaking of longevity, the Carnarvon. I always miss this word up. See,
that's up in your neck of the woods.
That's up my neck of the woods.
Carnarvon.
Yeah, Carnarvon.
Carnarvon.
Carnarvon. There we go.
Carnarvon.
They're celebrating their 100-year anniversary in open house. Saturday, May 22nd from 6 to 10 and 6 to 7:30 is the open house fire truck tour and demos. 6 to 9, there'll be food vendors with light refreshments. 7:30, the entertainment kicks off with John Breslett, and at 9 o'clock, firework finale. Bring the whole family on lawn chairs. Jump on Facebook. You can follow them at Carnarvon Fire Company, and that is located at 2154 Main Street, Narvon, PA, 17555 if you need to plug it into your GPS. Because Narvon's one of those towns that kind of shows up as other towns sometimes.
Yeah.
So that zip code is helpful.
Hopefully we didn't offend the populace of Carnarvon.
Carnarvon, yes. We may have just started something. Possibly. We apologize. Congratulations on 100 years. That's great. And, the fact that it's a volunteer fire company, that's cool too. I mean, volunteer fire companies, have really struggled the last year for fundraising. So now that we can get out, you can do these events, go support them, please. And if you want to know where Carnarvon Fire Company is and all the other places with all the other information, we have that for you. All of the info that we've just shared, links are always available on our website, LancasterConnects.com. Well, we can also email them to you each week. You would get that email. You would get all the up-to-date information by entering our giveaway at LancasterConnects.com. You'll enter for the $25 gift card too. This show is available as a podcast. Find it at LancasterConnects.com. And of course, don't forget to like and share this video, leave a comment, and tell a friend about the show.
Guests, Ann, Chris. What
well,
events?
First of all, you have started something because it's Carnarvon.
Carnarvon.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Carnarvon.
There we go.
Yeah. I'm pretty
Thank
sure,
you. Awesome.
unless
They're coming for you.
Yeah, I'm kind of from that neck of the woods, so I was like, nope, 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 Carnarvon. But
It's like when somebody
but
from outside of Lancaster says Lancaster instead of Lancaster.
yeah, that's what you were doing to me. I was like, oh, okay. But I wanted to plug Music Friday, and thank you for acknowledging the pivot of music on trucks, because I know the people who had to work through that, and they work very hard at making sure those events still take place while keeping people safe during this whole pandemic. But we're all craving live music right now, and just things with people, right? So I hope the community does come out and support Music Friday, and then maybe go get a drink at Decades. I think that would be a really great thing. What do you think, Chris? Live music, then Decades, right?
Yeah, the flatbed truck has been known. I think we're on their route, so they come by almost every time, and we just maybe we could open up a parking spot for them. They can hang out for a while.
Oh, that'd be cool.
There's another pivot, right? Just make it happen.
Yeah, we got some pickup and delivery spots. You could pull up there for a few minutes and play a couple songs.
Or get your cocktail to go. Are you guys still doing that?
Yeah, we'll throw them up on the truck. We're not going to do that. But we're not doing cocktails to go, yes. We've got the cocktails in pouches, which is fun. Mm-hmm. It's like an adult Capri Sun.
Right. I was about to say that. When I first saw them, I was like, it's like Capri Sun, but for adults.
Way more fun.
It's funny. I'm gonna put some ladies I know. I'm not gonna name names, but COVID. You say drinks to go, right? Like that wasn't really a thing 15 months ago. We were all responsible adults.
It wasn't legal.
Most part. Yeah, but I said I'm going to put some ladies that I know. So I coached youth football for a number of years, and there was a group of moms and fans that had day drinking and mom drinking down to a science, and they were a hoot. I'll just say that, and they knew how to last an entire day's football events from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and get through. And it was definitely some adult beverages in disguise. It was pretty funny.
Capri Sun.
Yeah, so they were like, they were doing it before it was legal. So
I immediately thought of Trick or Treat with your kids and just towing the bar cart behind you.
There you go. There you go.
I like it. Well, I have another tie-in with this conversation. It won't sound like it immediately, but here we go. You talked about Lancaster history. You know that they run James Buchanan's house, and I had to go there for a field trip when I was younger, but I recently got a tour of James Buchanan's house as I've become an adult, and you get to see his own bottle of Madeira still sitting there in one of his rooms. So I don't know if you guys have been to James Buchanan's house as an adult, but it's fun, and the perspective is completely different than when you're required to go for a field trip. So I just want to shout out to the community. If you haven't been there in several years, go to James Buchanan's house and get your tour and ask the tour guides how much Madeira he used to drink, because it's impressive.
Wow.
I'm guessing it would be described as copious amounts.
I think so. Yeah, if memory serves me right, he had his own personal stash.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Anne, from your perspective, how important are local events for the community and for tourism?
It's part of what makes Lancaster special. I think. When I speak with reporters who are outside of the area, they kind of picture Lancaster City specifically as a place where Amish buggies are clip-clopping down the street. And not to say that doesn't happen every once in a while, and that's really fun. But I think we've got an atmosphere that is unexpected, and it's vibrant, and there's shopping and dining and live music and events happening regularly. Of course, now with COVID, things are a little slower, but we're ramping back up, and that just makes it all the more fun. And so I think it's what makes Lancaster City special, is that this community can come together and really throw a good party.
Yeah, and Chris, for you, dovetailing Decades, into Lancaster as a newer business, you've been open now. How long is it?
So we opened in March of 2019. We had a full year. Our first year was fantastic. And then literally we celebrated our 1-year birthday as a business. And a week later, we were closed for a month from April to May. So, the last year has been interesting and challenging, but I think, we're standing on firm ground and excited about kind of things being less restrictive, and it just brings more challenges. Every week is something new to figure out. So it's definitely an interesting time to do business, and we have a business where it's high touch, it's bowling, it's retro arcades and bar and restaurant. So, navigating that in a safe way and making sure people feel comfortable is always kind of at the front of our minds, but it's also challenging. So it's been interesting, but since January, we've seen a lot of encouraging signs.
Good.
And Chris, I can't remember if I have my timing correct, but didn't you have some very special guests at Decades, maybe a little bit before the shutdown, possibly known as Green Day, showed up there?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dan Aykroyd. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Dan Aykroyd was in town for a Crystal Head vodka bottle signing back in the fall of 2019. Is that right? Yep. And so he was in the area, and we sold a ton of Crystal Head vodka. So he kind of popped in and met the staff, and we knew he was coming, which was kind of cool. But the wedding that we had that day did not. So that was kind of a fun thing that just Dan Aykroyd showed up at their wedding. So they have some pictures and a signed bottle to remember that for a long time. But yeah, Green Day did show up fairly unannounced. We had like a catered event, but it just said birthday party. And we kind of were confused because security showed up, and we're like, but it's a birthday party. You don't need security for that. And they're like, well, we have to check everything out for Billy Joe. And we're like, what? And they're like, well, Green Day, the whole band's going to be here this evening for the whole night. So we just want to make sure we know where the exits are. And we're like, oh, okay. So it was an interesting experience, but they bowled and had a good time. And then I think they did karaoke at the Belvedere after that. So they were kind of checking out the block and seeing what was going on that night. But yeah, we've been lucky. And then I think 2 weeks later was kind of the first kind of mandated shutdown. So kind of a bummer to have so much momentum leading off of that first year. But as I said, we're kind of getting back to it now.
Yeah, well, maybe Chris, as we open back up, you might say, hey, at any time, somebody really cool might pop in. I'm sure you got some pictures on your Facebook or Instagram.
Absolutely.
Of Green Day. Yeah.
Maybe we'll just reach out to them and say like, hey, we know when your birthday is. You want to come and celebrate late?
Nice. Yeah, really nice. Well, Chris, we're gonna talk more about Decades in a little bit. We're gonna kind of give Ann the focus here.
Sure.
So we'll welcome you back on momentarily. All right. So, Ann, for those that don't know, why don't you share with us a little bit more about exactly what your mission is with Lancaster City Alliance?
Sure, and thanks so much for the opportunity and having me on today. One thing I want people to know is Lancaster City Alliance is a nonprofit based in Lancaster City. We are focused on quality of life in the city, and we want to ensure that Lancaster is a clean, safe, and vibrant city for everyone. And that kind of sums us up. And you're free to ask questions on what all that means.
What is the Building on Strength plan?
Sure, that is the community and economic development plan for the city of Lancaster. And what that means is it's a 15-year plan that was developed by the community. It's the city's plan, and the Lancaster City Alliance oversees it and kind of make sure all of the recommendations in the plan are being implemented. So for 15 years, we're responsible for making sure that this plan happens. And you've probably heard the term before, but it's kind of like we do the herding of the cats. So people are really into the plan and they work really well with it, but the Lancaster City Alliance makes sure it continues on its path to success.
So you mentioned 15 years. When did that start?
It was, those are the types of things, 2015. It started and it'll run till 2030.
Very cool.
That is very cool. By my observation, I would say you are well underway.
You know,
from
before
what I see downtown going on.
Yeah, thank you. Before COVID and even through it, for the 15-year plan, several of the goals we have already reached. Just 5 years into the plan. And then as COVID hit, we were a little worried. We were like, oh boy, are we going to lose momentum? And of course, everyone lost a little momentum with everything, but the plan was not derailed. And in fact, we're kind of reinvigorated and seeing the plan through. And I think if you don't mind, I'll tell you a few little highlights of the plan. I don't know if you had a specific question about that, but I can tell you the plan is focused on recruiting entrepreneurs. We want talented people to invest and set up business here. We want good development in the city. We want, when people want to set up shop, we want them to do it in a way that benefits them and the community, and that they set up shop in the right place in the city. We look to market the city in a way that attracts visitors and people to settle here. And we're cultivating entrepreneurs. So those big ideas and people like Chris who can turn an underutilized building into something very special like Decades. We want to see more of that in Lancaster.
Yeah, we can kind of speak to that, maybe not through your efforts with the City Alliance, but when we opened Gardeners, when we bought Gardeners from Jim Gardner, we utilized, it was the library on it's not the Small Business Administration, but what am I thinking of? SCORE. There we go.
Oh, yes. Wonderful organization.
We utilized that organization. And, at the time I was on my own as a business owner for 10 years prior. Gardeners was an extension, parallel career path, if you will. And I learned a lot from SCORE, even after 10 years of business ownership. And I know, Ben, you learned a lot too, even after managing Gardeners for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crash course in business ownership and how to get a business started, funding plan, all of that. It was great to have that opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
They are wonderful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And did you guys know that SCORE won like Chapter of the Year about 2 years ago? So SCORE is a nationwide organization. Yep, and they're the best there is here, just in Lancaster, best in the nation.
Yep. Yeah, they should have. I mean, obviously that's 2 years ago was 8 years after we utilized them, but I can only imagine the folks that were there. They had such a passion for it, a level of care to see people succeed. So that's great. And, things like what you do with the Alliance, I mean, it really makes a lot of sense. You don't want to have things open up that are poor. I live, so I was moved to the Lancaster County when I was a child. I now actually live in Sinking Springs, so just across the Lancaster border. That's my wife's family is all from there. And, I see the 25 years of, well, not 25 years, but 20 years, I guess, of, being in and around Berks County and doing business in Lancaster County. It's interesting to look at the two cities, Reading and Lancaster. And when you share this plan, this 15-year plan, what did we call that again?
Building
on
Strength.
Strength plan. When you look at that, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. Reading is really having a struggle. And it would seem to me as though the focus was just on 20 years ago, shopping. Well, when we look back in history, what has transformed shopping like nothing else in the last 20 years? Amazon.
Right.
So when the basis of a city success has been Amazon, it's not hard to understand now why it's been a struggle. And without a great alliance guiding it, it's why it's almost like Lancaster and Reading flip-flopped. Because back 20 years ago, you could do a lot of great things in the city of Reading. Now maybe not so much. At least from my perspective, I live in that area.
Right.
And I'll talk about it a little later. Walking around downtown last week, it was very nice. Very nice experience. So kudos to you with what we're doing with the Alliance. Let's talk about the underserved areas. What exactly do we mean by that?
Sure. And I want to be very clear, as thriving and as exciting as Lancaster is, we're not perfect. And there are neighborhoods that are underserved. And what that means is for many, many years, investment has not happened in those neighborhoods. Maybe the sidewalks are crumbling, or the street lights aren't what they used to be, or there's excessive trash, or just, those things. The quality of life maybe isn't there as it is in other areas of the city. So as much as we love to focus on shopping and restaurants and dining and all the fun, the Lancaster City Alliance also focuses on neighborhoods, and we work closely with city government to ensure that we are beginning to invest in those neighborhoods and make sure that everyone in Lancaster City has the opportunity to succeed. And some of those investments, what that looks like is placing trash cans on sidewalks, planting trees, and some of the photos that were coming up on screen, facade improvements, improving the front of properties, including working front doors, working windows, downspouts, repointing of brick. Whenever you're able to make those basic property investments, that enhances neighborhood pride. Businesses want to set up there. People want to be in those areas. And there's a before and after picture of one of the facades. So let me be clear, though, those changes are changes that are taking place that are needed. Everyone deserves a good front door. Everyone deserves working windows and downspouts. We're not taking properties and changing the element of the neighborhood, but just making an investment in a community so that the people who are already living there have the opportunity to thrive.
What's the bigger picture of all of these small things that you do in a particular area of town? What's the bigger picture there?
I guess the bigger picture is, I would sum it up as quality of life. So everyone just deserves a chance to live a high quality of life. And if you're not investing in some of these neighborhoods, then they fall behind. And we certainly don't want that in Lancaster. We're known to be a welcoming community, and we want to make sure that if you want to live in Lancaster, if you want to visit Lancaster, or you want to do business in Lancaster, you have the opportunity to do it well and have the best impact. So we try and set up those small things so that others can succeed.
So I'm going to throw a little bit, maybe it's a curveball, maybe not. Maybe you'll hit it out of the park, so to say. So
we'll see. I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah. We know, well, I know, and I'm sure Lancaster is voted as like one of the top 5, I believe it is, best places to retire, right? In the country. Am I correct in that top 5?
Yes. I think it bounces around. Yeah, it's up there. Let's just say top 5.
So, and whenever, an article comes out about more, another retirement building, retirement home being built, from your perspective, what do you see? Is there a net benefit there? Is it neutral to what your goals are? How does that dovetail in? And what does it mean for the 15-year plan? What does it mean for the 30-year plan?
Well, that's why we have a plan, because as part of our plan, there's specific areas in the city because of the plan, have been designated as places that can house a new retirement home. You don't want to put a retirement home in maybe a certain neighborhood that it doesn't belong there. It isn't helpful to the neighbors. But the plan has already designated, retirement homes or these corridors would fit this type of business or this type of opportunity. So those places that are coming into the city that you may read about, where they are being placed is intentional to benefit the community in the best way, and potentially leave the neighborhoods intact. So I think that it's a balance, right? Everyone is welcome here, whether it's a retirement home or a young family or people of color or refugees. We want to see everyone to be able to thrive. So a retirement home, as long as it's in the right type of place for the city, that is considered a good investment.
And again, I don't mean to put you on the spot, so I'll just ask the question because
Sure.
This is one of the things that's interesting to me. We try to weave a little Seinfeld into each episode if we can. So this is our city planning tie-in. I want to be a city planner, the kid that came for the scholarship. Anyway, but have you as the Alliance been able to say no? That kind of development, maybe it's not retirement home, just doesn't fit the plan. Has the Alliance been able to have enough teeth, I guess, to say that's not meeting the goal, that's not meeting what we've all agreed to? How's that? Has anything like that come up that you could share?
Well, I can't think of a specific example, but I think I do want to still answer the question. The really fun thing and the unique thing about Lancaster that maybe isn't happening in other communities is that our ability to work together. So it wouldn't just be the Alliance saying no, but other organizations like the City of Lancaster, so city government, us, Economic Development Company of Lancaster, maybe the Spanish American Civic Association. All of the organizations kind of work together to ensure that the right type of development is happening. And of course, all of these projects have to pass City Council, and maybe depending on like the Historic Commission. So there's checks and balances throughout the system and many different organizations working to influence the right type of development. So I guess as I'm answering this question and thinking more about it, I don't know that we would ever get to a situation where it's like a no. I think there's enough checks and balances in place that we would never get to that point. We would all be working together to kind of influence the best outcomes for the people and the organization that's looking to do business.
Well, right there. That's why our city is thriving.
Right. And I think that's the answer.
It's not a totalitarian answer where this one entity can say this or that. It's everybody's on the same page, pulling in the same direction, which is powerful in any aspect of life.
Right. And don't forget, there's a plan. The Building on Strength plan gives us that vision to know what's needed and where. So yeah, it's a big community effort.
And you've won some accolades for that. Our producers told us that you've been recognized for doing this plan, executing this plan better than most. Is that right? Somebody from the New York Times?
Yeah, the Thomas Friedman of the New York Times wrote an article 3 years ago now. It came out in July, and it highlighted Lancaster. And again, it's not just Lancaster City Alliance, but many organizations across the city as unique in the entire United States for our ability to get the job done and work together, despite political differences or just, there aren't really like turf wars here or people aren't territorial. I think we understand that in order to achieve the vision and the goal and the greater good, we have to work together. And the New York Times highlighted us for it. So that was a really fun perspective on our city and our community as a whole.
Yep, that's fantastic. And how is the Alliance funded?
We are a nonprofit, so we are funded by local corporations and also by individuals. So, the extra give, lots of people donate to us during that exciting day in our community, but we also work with our corporate partners because as we see it, if you are doing business in Lancaster City, we're here to make sure your business thrives. I like to use the example, the Lancaster General Health, the hospital, is a big supporter of us for several different reasons. They like to make sure that the community around the hospital is a welcoming place. If you're coming to the hospital, you want to be able to do it easily and feel safe and secure. And the Lancaster City Alliance, along with many others, plays a role in that. But as far as like business recruiting and talent, again, the hospital is a great example of this. They want to bring in the most talented physicians and medical team, and that benefits us all. When there's good doctors in our community, we all benefit from that. And you can recruit talented physicians by knowing that they're coming to settle and set up shop in a community that is thriving and exciting, because they're competing with towns and cities across the country to recruit talented medical staff. And it's our job to make sure Lancaster is a great place for them to want to do business here.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the show we're on here, Lancaster Connects. I mean, it's really about, we launched this effort because it's about helping the community that supports our business. So as a business operator in this city, we feel it's important to give back in this way, shine light on organizations like yours, maybe even smaller organizations, maybe larger ones, but use this platform to let the community know all that's out there. One of those ways, again, the Lancaster Connects community is about having people who may not have the means to donate financially, but have time, help these organizations, help charities that we highlight. You have ways that people can help out. We've talked about trees and trash cans, various aspects of city blocks and upkeep. How can people connect with you that way if they're willing to donate their time and, roll up their sleeves?
I think one of the easiest ways for people to get involved, other than making sure they're always shopping and dining in Lancaster City, is by thinking about, again, quality of life and litter pickup. We offer the Adopt a Block program, and as you can see on the screen, street trash receptacles. These trash receptacles are bolted to the sidewalk, and they just help. When receipts are flying out of your pocket or your gum wrapper or whatever, there's a trash can nearby, and you can make sure it gets in the can as opposed to tumbling down the sidewalk. And so people can adopt these trash cans. You can also sponsor a trash can. You can see this sponsor logos there as well as our logo. So you can adopt a trash can if you live in the city. It can be placed near your home or your business. Business owners can adopt a trash can as well. And that just helps keep the area around your home or business clean. And because, a city is a high traffic area, so litter happens. And having lots of trash cans around just makes it a lot cleaner. It's better for the environment, and it's better for our the visual aspect of living and being in the city.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, if you're a business owner listening to this, adopt the block, adopt the trash can. You saw the signs. If you watched this as a video cast TV show, you saw the signs. I believe it was Lancaster County Waste Management and High Foundation. Obviously, we saw the Alliance sign, but again, just a way to get your name out there and do good at the same time. Obviously, being in a city, you're going to get a lot of eyeballs on it. So that's a great initiative to kind of blend corporate stewardship with giving back to the community and helping the community. So I like that a lot.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that plug.
You touched on the Adopt a Block thing. Obviously, adopt a trash can is pretty self-explanatory. How's that work? How do you adopt a block?
So there is an application process which the Lancaster City Alliance can help you with. And as you can see in the picture there, there's an Adopt a Block sign, and it's kind of small, but it says sponsored by the Young family, and there is the Young family. So you get your own sign. You get to choose your block. Maybe it's close to your home or business or somewhere else in the city. And you get gloves and trash pickers and some trash bags, and you're committed to picking up litter around on your block twice a year, but although we recommend you do that more frequently, I know talking with the Young family, they do it on the opposite weeks that there is the city trash cleaners come through. So they're very dedicated to keeping their block clean. But it's a free service. You get your sign. So business owners, there's a little free advertising as well. And you get recognized by city council for being good members of your community. And then, of course, just an opportunity to get outside and do a good thing.
And do we understand it correctly that the Adopt a Trash Can program involves a local emptying the trash cans themselves?
Yes. So if you are the one to adopt the trash can, it is your responsibility to, that lid just slides off and you pull out the trash bag and you put it with your own trash. And it's okay to do that.
Very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very nice. Well, we appreciate your time, and considering that you are a nonprofit entity, that qualifies you for our weekly donation. So we have a little small donation we give to all the charities, all the organizations that come on the show, just as a little way of saying thank you for your time and putting forward your efforts. So it's $125. We'll donate that to you happily. And we really am grateful that you've joined us. I learned a lot. I hope our listeners learned a lot. Yeah. I think, look at the big picture is the takeaway here. And I think you're executing that fabulously as far as your building the strength plan goes. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much. This is unexpected and I really appreciate it. And I've enjoyed your insight into what makes Lancaster great and having this conversation with you. So thank you. You guys are like my new favorite Lancaster City business.
Well, great. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished. Well, we appreciate you. I mean, again, it's kind of nice here. Episode 11, I was trying to think what it is. There it is on the screen. Episode 11. We started this endeavor and I wrote about it last night on my social media channels. I know what the goal line is like. And that is to provide a platform for our community to better highlight our community and make a better connection. I didn't know exactly how we'll get there. I'm a jump off the high dive, fill the pool later kind of guy.
You are?
Yeah. There's many aspects within the four walls here that speak to that. But it's very cool to have you on the show as a part of this. We really do believe that helping our community that supports our business is important for us to be here long term. And I hope anybody listening to this gets that too. And, it can start small. I mean, if it's just adopting the trash can, that's a way to start. I mean, and that's the hardest thing, right? Just starting. And once you're in motion, things become so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're exactly right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Ann, thank you for joining us. We'll have you pop back in here as we move along in the show. We've got some business to do with our Sleep Better segment. All right. So our tip from the Sleep Better book, which we'll happily mail you a copy, not with all my notes on it, but your own fresh copy right in the mail, an actual book, because what we have is great information inside of Sleep Better. So it begs having it in your hands. But this tip from page 35, brighten up your day. Your body's clock, also known as the circadian rhythm, will function better if you get plenty of light during your waking hours. Get some sunlight every day at certain hours when you're not likely to get sunburned. And also be sure to have really good lighting when you're indoors. Let there be light. It may seem odd to mention, but some people actually prefer dwelling in darker or very dim environments throughout the day, which can seriously disrupt your body's time clock. Yep. So I lived this yesterday. I was at a friend's house and just beautiful, kind of tucked back. You'd never even know it's there from the street. And we sat on the porch, hung out, and just having the light come in the afternoon just the right amount, not too much, not too little. So it was, you get in the sun and it's like it's hot, burning your skin. And, it was perfect. And the other thing when we talk about rhythm is lining your sleep up to 90-minute intervals. So starting about 4.5 hours to 6 hours to 7.5 to 9 hours. That's really key as well. I got back to that last night, and I've got to tell you, I feel really good.
I'm on a 6-hour
there you go
program.
Yep, there you go.
And my body automatically wakes up after 6 hours. It's pretty crazy.
Yep. So that's what we've got there. Something else that we have going on. I don't think we've actually done this yet in 11 specific episodes. So we're going to have a shameless plug. It is Memorial Day this month. It is the month of May. May is Better Sleep Month, by the way. More on that in a second. But we've got our double deals promotion this month. So you get to maximize your savings, discounts you pick to fit your situation. We're not throwing out just here's the promotion, take it or leave it. Pick your discount, maximize your savings. And we've got some floor models, discontinued items at incredible deals. Our 50/50 deal, we mark everything down half off first, and then what's left when it's time to, pull the plug on it and get rid of it, we chop it another 50%. So it's an incredible opportunity to save some money. But the most important thing, whatever you spend on a mattress is actually being able to enjoy it, get better sleep. So you can start by getting our book, get your free copy of Sleep Better from Gardner's Mattress and More. We'll mail you a free copy. Just go to gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better, and we'll get it out to you.
We got our food truck alert. Sort of the flashing light.
Wow.
There we go.
It's like a child. It's like, gosh, it's like, can I make the horn go? I love it.
You can turn off the siren. That's enough. All right, thanks. Next time, food truck flashing, right? All right. May 19th from 12 to 4:30, the Farm Show Milkshakes truck will be located at 100 East Charlotte Street in Millersville. That's to support the EMS Week and American Red Cross Blood Drive event. Again, 100 East Charlotte Street in Millersville. Those Farm Show Milkshakes are fantastic. And actually, I may be back on dairy and gluten soon.
Oh, tremendous.
So I probably should go get a milkshake.
That's a great way to celebrate.
Yeah.
You can also celebrate with wockets. Dough heads will have their famous wockets, short for waffle pocket. I'm not making that up. It's a wocket.
Look at that thing. That's awesome. Is that a buffalo wing waffle with celery sticking out like blue cheese and buffalo?
It appears to be a little sweet and savory, all in a wocket. So Doughheads will have their wockets available Thursday, May 20th from 5 to 7 at Fieldstone Drive between Willow Creek and Heatherwood at 1410 Fieldstone Drive. I want to know how I get them to show up at my place. Update from Doughheads, they now have 2 trucks, so you have twice as many fun chances to find them and enjoy wockets.
We've got Meet the Browns, that's MEAT, meat, as in meat. Meet the Browns food truck, Saturday, May 22nd from 11 to 2 p.m. Their mobile kitchen will be located at 5235 Oakleaf Drive in Mount Joy. Their extensive menu includes pulled pork, chicken cheesesteak, cheeseburger subs, hot dogs, hot tacos too, and much, much more. Check them out.
So I got it.
You got the egg roll?
I got the egg roll lady, which apparently for Lancaster is kind of a big deal.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. I guess as the egg roll lady goes, so goes your date nights, maybe?
Right.
Last time we talked about egg roll lady, Ben had a date night with his wife, lovely bride. Anyway, May 22nd, we have 2 locations for the egg roll lady. Location 1, 420 Ashford Drive, Lancaster. Location 2, 203 Glebe Lane in Lancaster. Both locations, Egg Roll Lady will open her booth at 8:30 a.m. until 12 or until sold out. My guess is she will sell out. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a little thing right here, right now. And production team, we'll have to maybe throw a couple bucks of advertising on Facebook behind this. If you get a picture of yourself in line around the block for the Egg Roll Lady with a sign Lancaster Connects, just write it out on a sheet of paper. We'll give you a free pillow here in the store. All right.
That's cool.
Anybody that does that will do it. Okay.
My
So-
recommendation is to get there early. Get in line.
Ben's got the tip on the.
I wonder if she's cloned herself, if she's in
Egg roll
two
lady.
separate places.
I don't know. We'll find out May 22nd.
We mentioned it earlier. We told you about the Outdoor Farmers Market and Craft Show at the Next Gen Community Senior Center's outdoor event. That's Saturday, May 22nd at the Next Gen Community Senior Center. It's happening alongside the car show. Admission is free. In addition to the various vendor and craft items, they will have food trucks, including Mr. Frosty, M&M Catering, DP's Concession, and Lancaster County CB Radio Club will be there as a food vendor. Again, it's at the Next Gen Community Center at 184 South Lime Street in Quarryville. You can find them on Facebook or visit LancasterConnects.com and look in the show notes for a link.
This is karma, right? I'm poking fun at him for getting all the long ones. Look at this. It's like a whole sheet. Here we go.
You can do it.
Lickety Split ice cream truck. It's May. It's warming up. They're getting out, getting it done. Last week, Penny Talbert mentioned them and that she loves Lickety Split ice cream. So they have a ton of dates coming up. Try it for yourself. Before I read the dates, you can find Lickety Split ice cream on Facebook at Mobile Ice Cream Truck. See, now that's smart. Like that's good for Google, some Google foo. I mean, it's good for SEO, and it's easy for me to say, and I don't bungle it. So at Mobile Ice Cream Truck or website licketysplit.info. So May 19th, 5:30 to 6:30, neighborhood pop-up, Paradise area, 46 Creekview Drive. Also on Wednesday, right after that, 6 to 7, Paradise area, 17 Cottonwood Lane in Denver. I don't think that's Paradise area, although for some Denver is Paradise. Either way, we're going to go with the address, 17 Cottonwood Lane. Thursday the 20th, 6:30 to 8, another pop-up in the neighborhood, 121 School Lane Avenue, Ephrata. All of this will be on our show notes. All the more reason to go to LancasterConnects.com and get those. Saturday, May 22nd, 10 to 2, Relay for Life in Terre Hill Park. Also on the 22nd, Carnarvon and
Carnarvon.
100th anniversary block party, 2145 Main Street, Narvon, PA. Monday the 24th, another pop-up at Mount Joy, 4117 Dahlia Court. Also, man, these people work.
Yes.
Also on Monday night, 7 to 8, another one, 316 West Charlotte Street in Millersville. What are they in, the DeLorean? I mean, you go from 6:45 to 7 o'clock. That's incredible. 316 West Charlotte Street, Millersville, 7 to 8 on the 24th. And then Tuesday the 25th, wrapping it up, another neighborhood pop-up in Nessville, 103 Pebble Run, Lancaster, PA. This is living the life as an adult when you have an ice cream truck out front of your house.
Yes. Yes. Adulting.
Adulting, for sure, man.
All right. We mentioned it earlier. Food trucks are going to be at the Cruise In for a Cure car show. Again, that's the Misfits on a Mission Relay for Life team that event supports. We told you about them. The Cruise In for a Cure car show. It's on Saturday, May 22nd at the Terre Hill Community Park. In addition to the vendors and raffles at this free event, they're going to have food trucks such as Fink's French Fries, Lickety Split, The Crazy Train, Hen House Grilling, Grape Leaf Cafe, Schaefer's Catering, Laura's Handmade Chocolates, The Popcorn Lady of PA, that's interesting, the Cupcakes by Shelley. Remember, the proceeds from the day's event will benefit the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life team, the Misfits on a Mission. Event runs from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The car show is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And DJ Timbo is playing 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can follow them on Facebook. Look for at Misfits on a Mission or head to LancasterConnects.com. And there's a link there. Again, Terre Hill Community Memorial Park at 210 Lancaster Avenue in Terre Hill.
There you go. So on food trucks, all right, food trucks have quite the fandom and following. I wonder if like the Lickety Split has like groupies that follow them around. I bet you they do.
Probably.
Something I would do. Anyway, our viewers want to know where the food trucks are each week. So if you own one, work in one, know of one, we want to hear from you. We'll tell our viewers where you'll be so that they can support you. You fill out the form at LancasterConnects.com and tell us where you'll be and when. Tell us about your food so that we can have people desperate to go grab your food. Just go to LancasterConnects.com and fill out the form, and we'll get all that information here on the show. And please do not forget to like and share this video, leave a comment, and tell a friend about the show. Help us accomplish our mission, creating Lancaster Connects as a great platform to help the community, put a spotlight on great people, organizations, and charities that need it, and we can share all they're doing with the community.
You can this show. Remember that this show is also.
I just read that.
Oh shoot! Oh my gosh!
Just say the green part.
I totally blanked. All right, guests. I'm sure you have a favorite food truck. What is it?
Well, I'm concerned that I've never heard of the egg roll lady. So my apologies, and I'm going to go seek her out.
You are officially out of the loop.
Yeah, I know, and I pride myself in being in the loop, but Farm Show milkshakes and Fink's French fries. I think I gained 5 pounds just thinking about it, but I mean, who cares, right? Because it's the good life right there. Now, when I order my Farm Show milkshake, I ask for the blended, both vanilla and chocolate, because I just lose all ability to think straight and I don't know which one to pick. So I get them both. I don't know about the rest of you.
Very nice. We understand you have a tip on Fink's French fries.
Yes. I actually just had some Fink's French fries. That's hard to say. On Friday. And they have a permanent location at Green Dragon, which is in Ephrata and open only on Fridays. But that's where you can be sure to get your Fink's fix.
Very cool. Chris, welcome back. How about do you have a favorite food truck?
I actually have two different buddies of mine. They're both Hempfield guys too. Souvlaki Boys and Scoops, the ice cream place out in Mountville.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah. Anytime I see that, well, I mean, we're right down the street from Souvlaki Boys, but we love getting Scoops when they're out and about. So
very nice.
So what do you think? I mean, food trucks are kind of this thing that's more recent development. Chris, do you think they complement your business, compete with it? Where do you see the value add for food trucks in the city?
Yeah, no, I think that it's not necessarily direct competition. A lot of the food trucks are offering smart choices as far as like, maybe it's not a full meal, so it's more of like an accent kind of thing. So you could still go to a restaurant and hit up a food truck or vice versa. So I don't see that as a big issue. We've actually talked to a couple as like, do you want to pull up in front of Decades? We'll have the music truck pull up too. And then, maybe we do like, one was like shaved ice, and maybe you could get some alcohol from Decades and combine all these things. So, I think working together on that stuff, you can get some creative things coming out of it. And, so I don't, I think there's space for everyone. So it's not direct competition or anything. And, you can't pick up our restaurant and pop it into your neighborhood too. So there is something to say for their business plan, and they are entitled to grab that business where they can. So good for them.
I just kind of like lit up with childish giddy joy because Chris, you just uncovered something. I've always felt guilty about, dinner, right? Your second lunch, your first dinner. You just so eloquently rephrased it as an accent meal.
Yes, an accent meal.
Whether it's an AM accent meal or a PM accent meal or after dinner accent meal.
If you're not walking around with a Wocket in your pocket, then I don't know what you're doing. You need in between meal snacks.
Yeah,
I don't think my dietitian wife approves of this eating plan.
We'll just tell her
I like it.
We'll just tell her we didn't record this one.
Yeah,
and
she's not on the call, so.
That's right. She doesn't watch this.
And so food trucks, here's a question for you. Obviously, they bring a little more vibrant, could be that too, vibrant food scene to the Lancaster area. Have you seen any food truck like come in, start, and then solidify, not that just being a food truck is bad, but have you seen them take the next step into a physical location?
I can't think of. I think it's more a physical. Okay, were they food truck first, Chris?
Yeah. Souvlaki Boys years ago was just a food truck. Now they've been a brick and mortar restaurant for a few years, and also still run their food truck. So I mean, it does happen.
I don't know what came first, either Lancaster Cupcake food truck or the brick and mortar business, but that could be another one. But they do have the shop and a food truck. So both the cupcakes are awesome, either or.
Very cool.
Very good. All right. Well, we're going to jump to our history nugget, and then Chris, you're going to come up and tell us all about Decades bowling. My son will love this episode because he's a bowler. At any rate, you doing the history nugget?
I'll do the history nugget.
Making history. Ben's first history nugget.
A lot of pressure. So this history nugget is brought to us by Benton Weber. He has provided us with multiple history nuggets in the past and seems to know all there is to know about Lancaster history. So this is about the Lincoln Highway. Most Lancaster folks know where Columbia Avenue is, but very few are aware of its significance and history. One aspect of that history is its prominence as part of the Lincoln Highway, our country's first transcontinental highway. It connected New York to San Francisco, California, and ran right through the center of Lancaster. As Jack Brubaker explained in The Scribbler on August 14, 1981, there was a time when the Lincoln Highway was the best known road in the United States. He explained He explained the markers in his column. Half a century ago, nobody had any trouble identifying the Lincoln Highway. In the late summer of 1928, the Boy Scouts of America began erecting concrete markers at period intervals from coast to coast. Along the Lincoln Highway, 4-foot-high concrete posts and other signs marked the way and its various turns. One such post was located opposite Jackson Drive in Lancaster Township, just east of Maple Grove. It was removed when Stone Mill Plaza was built, and fortunately was taken into protective custody in Lancaster History Building, perhaps? Into protective custody, Lancaster History. I'm not sure exactly what that is saying, but it is safe and sound, Jeff.
Well,
that is, rest assured.
Thank God.
The bonus nugget here, Brubaker also said in the 1790s, the 62-mile-long Lancaster Pike was built from Philadelphia to Lancaster. It was the young nation's first long-distance roadway with a stone and gravel surface, and apparently free of potholes. Probably not, if it was in Pennsylvania.
So who ran it in 1790, and can we get them back?
Right, exactly.
Let's find their great-great-great-great-grandchildren and get them into PennDOT. Yes.
Good call.
So thanks, Benton Weber. We got to get Benton Weber on the show, I think.
We need to have him and
Sounds
do
like
his history nuggets.
Yeah, we need to have him on. Chris, speaking of navigating potholes.
Yes, sir.
Last year was full of potholes, so to say.
Sure was.
Yeah. Just how about that for a transition?
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, I'm just going to, that was.
Yeah, we did
I fancy. Yeah, we did it. Yeah. So just real quick, I'll kick it off. My son is a bowler.
Good bowler, a really good bowler.
Yeah, Wilson High School. He's coming up on his senior year. He actually got kicked off yet another round of private coaching lessons through his first 300 game to kick off the high school season.
Oh, wow.
Last year. Yeah. He's come close a bunch of other times. So he's really into it. And we've been meaning to get to Decades to check it out. So now we're just going to have to, because I put it out there.
Yeah, you're obligated.
We're going to come. Yeah.
It's been a while since we've done a company employee appreciation event.
There you go.
What better place to host an event, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's set it up.
Embarrass myself and throw a 73.
Yeah, there you go. So Chris, what is Decades?
So Decades is actually it's a retro arcade boutique bowling, which means we have 6 lanes. So it's not a huge bowling center or anything. It's more of an upscale approach to bowling and arcades, with also a full service restaurant and complete bar. So we have interesting cocktails, fun wines, 24 craft beers on tap, excellent food, and really just a ton of fun things to do. So it's this unique blend and of our own, the ownership's personalities and kind of things that we love, and we're just kind of showing Lancaster City all the things that we enjoy and hope they enjoy it as well. So you're seeing some pictures of the space, and it's located in the Star Armory building at 438 North Queen Street. Star Armory building has been around for years and years. It was an armory for the National Guard, where they did a ton of training, and it's held circuses, professional fights, professional basketball games, theater company, and now happy to be Decades. So it's an interesting building, a unique space, and just a fun concept for people to have a good time.
That it's interesting you mentioned the basketball. I was there during your first year and noticed the hardwood court floor, and that you still have the lines for basically a basketball court. So that's cool tie in there. It's a really neat building just to be in there and see what you've done with the place. It's cool.
It really is beautiful. Go ahead.
No, you may finish.
It's just a beautiful building. Like the ceiling's original, and we didn't have to do too much there. And then the floor, like you said, it did have the basketball lines. We just had it refinished and decided to keep it as it is because we love that kind of vintage character. And it's a conversation piece, and you would be shocked how many people have had different experiences and like to tell us about what they used to do at the armory, dances, they saw Santa, it just goes on and on and on. So we just find out more and more about the building every day we're open. It's really cool.
Yeah, your pictures of food are coming up. So I was going to ask, on a scale of 1 to amazing, your cheesesteak egg rolls, where does that fall?
Well, we make them, and they're very time consuming. So I understand what the egg roll lady's also going through on a weekly basis, but they're delicious and they are selling really, really well. We've added them to the menu in the last 2 months, and they're one of our top sellers. So I think the word's getting out that they're delicious. So you got to try them.
So, pulling off a venue like Decades, really shame on me. This is a first. I'm sorry. I'm focusing on diet again, and I have reminders, and that's what that was. That's my bad.
After we talk about cheesesteak egg rolls.
Yeah. It's going just okay.
Is that the reminder? Get cheesesteak egg rolls?
It's going to be the new reminder, yeah.
So that could have been better. So at any rate, Decades is really a couple to maybe a few or more businesses in one. You've got bowling, you've got arcade, you've got restaurant, you had weddings, so entertainment venue, event space. How does a business like that come about? Where did it start? What was the idea, the grand plan? Tell us about that.
Yeah, you're right. So, for years and years, so it's 3 childhood friends, Adam Ozimek, Jonathan Yeager, and myself. We all went to Hempfield. There's a good picture of us when we were a little younger and skinnier. And so we started as a company as doing Lancaster Craft Beer Fest. But we've always been friends from our Hempfield days. And we just kind of decided that Lancaster needed more entertainment options. We always thought, you can get a good, cocktail, you can have a nice meal, but really kind of live music was the extent of activity. And we, as consumers, felt that there was a gap that needed to be filled. And we also thought that we could be the ones to potentially come up with something to fill that gap. And Adam and I have always been big, retro. They weren't retro at the time, but video games, and now they're retro. And Jonathan loves bowling as well as Adam does too. So it just kind of came together as a blend of, we should do a barcade somewhere. And we always thought potentially we could add bowling if the the building allowed for it, because there's not a lot of buildings in Lancaster City that can accommodate several bowling lanes as well as an arcade and restaurant. And it's interesting because this is a nice tie-in with the Lancaster City Alliance. We made them aware that this was a concept that we were looking to do, and they actually provided us with a few people to contact about some of the buildings. Now we wound up looking at some of the things that were suggested through them, and ultimately found the Star Armory, which is the perfect building for us. But the Lancaster City Alliance really does make those connections, and they were a part of our process and a very helpful one. And we still look to them and their leadership all the time. So they, even in a challenging year with the pandemic, Lancaster City Alliance was kind of a hub for information, and did a great job of connecting the best information to the people that needed it to figure out how to kind of best navigate the pandemic and operate their businesses, Decades included. So, I mean, it was just such a good tie-in for them, and their help was invaluable. And I know that a lot of restaurants kind of feel that way. So their work kind of continues throughout every step of your business existing, before it's actually open, and then they support you even further. So they're just a great organization. Can't say enough about them.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have that type of support from an organization like that.
So beyond cheesesteak egg rolls, which I think the producers are now just messing with me. What other type of food do you serve? You said you make the egg rolls. So you're a scratch kitchen.
Yeah, we try to be as close to a scratch kitchen as possible. We're seeing some interesting supply chain issues starting to pop up in our industry. So we hope to stay a scratch kitchen, but if we can't get the things we need to do that, then we'll have to adjust. But we have a lot of different food offerings, but we found a lot of success with our vegan options. We have a vegan chicken sandwich that does really well, vegan chicken wings. Of course, we have traditional wings and traditional fried chicken sandwich, but we've been seeing some of those vegan options really fly out the door, which means that there's a lot of demand for it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, a lot of shareable items for people while they're bowling or, making their way around playing arcade games and return to the table. So kind of that community aspect, and it's been mostly families for the past few months, just because that's what you're supposed to be doing. So now that restrictions are going to be lightening up here on Memorial Day weekend, it's an exciting time for Decades to kind of get back to the business that we wanted to show the public, and not one that is fit into a lot of different things to try and keep people as safe as possible. It'll still be safe, and we have a ton of space to spread everyone out. It's just we've had to kind of socially distance things and maneuver games in different ways that we didn't really want to. And offering more bowling. We've only been able to operate 3 out of our only 6 lanes. So to have some more bowling available to people, our wait list can sometimes be 4 hours, and that's just not fun. So, but we also have things to do while you're waiting, so it's not that bad. But so as far as the food goes, we do have a cheesesteak too. So you could literally go overboard and do cheesesteak egg rolls and then a cheesesteak for dinner. Maybe we could get some cheesesteak and cut it up and throw it on some dessert for you as well. Maybe tuck it in a waffle.
Cheesesteak craft beer.
Cheesesteak walk it.
Oh man.
Yes, that's right.
Chris, you mentioned the arcade games. My favorite game is the timed basketball hoops. I could spend hours there. What are your most popular games? What do people like?
Well, we do find that the action games are very popular. So skee ball, tremendously popular with all age groups. And then the basketball one is, of course, very fun. And when we can run both, it can be very competitive because you can link them up and compete. But we have about 30 digital arcade games. I think Ms. Pac-Man is very popular. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the X-Men game from the 90s. So we have a lot of fun stuff, but we do try to hit the major uh, eras and decades, so to speak, of the different arcade games. So we do have some older ones like Centipede, and
Frogger?
Frogger, of course. Yep. And then our newest game is actually Mario Kart. It's a sit-down racing game. Again, it can be
nice.
very competitive. So we have some driving games as well. But and then digital pinball, which is kind of a cool thing. There's 860 pinball games on this one machine. It's a polarizing thing because a lot of pinball fans, and me included, like to kind of see and feel all the inner workings of things, but they're also a nightmare to maintain. So this kind of solves that problem, and it's kind of cool you could say, oh, they don't have this game, but chances are we do, because it's on that digital version, which is pretty fun. So yeah, I mean,
you have pinball, digital pinball. You have like the old school, like one-off game pinball machines.
What's that?
As far as pinball goes, you said you have digital pinball. Is that right?
Yeah, and just that one at the moment. We used to have we had 3 like actual pinball games before, but they are quite large and take up a lot of space. So when we had to redo the floor plan to kind of distance things out, pinball got the axe, unfortunately. So we're trying to find ways to get back to that, but they are still quite large.
So you guys get to turn the corner at Decades on Memorial Day weekend. You'll be able to be full capacity. We clip out our guests, so this is a great opportunity to kind of share what your plans are going forward, what things will be like. Obviously, bowling is going to go back to 6 lanes, I think I heard you say. What else is it going to look like come Memorial Day weekend for you?
So we've actually never been at full occupancy. We added outdoor dining and takeout this past year. And then, with indoor dining being so limited and kind of trying to be as careful as we can, we've never actually seen our own business be at full capacity with the outdoor dining added and takeout. So we're really excited for that as well, to know what we have there. And I think for us come Memorial Day, we have so much space at Decades that it's not really going to change too much for us, other than we can kind of return to having all the bar stools back. And it's such a fun and lively setting when you're in there, and people are kind of bowling. You hear that in the background. You hear the arcade games going off. The bartenders are making drinks, and so it's just so much fun. And I'm just really looking to get back to that, and I know I'll enjoy it. So, but just to see people kind of interacting with each other and having fun at the games, and it really is kind of like we've missed that. And we have to enforce a lot of different rules too, so that hasn't been fun either. And kind of returning to our normal setting just should be fun for everyone, including the staff. And I think they're ready for a bit of a break. And this is what the CDC is recommending. So I think we're all moving forward on the assumption that that's the safe thing to do, and we're excited to kind of see people's smiling faces again throughout the building, and not just at certain times when they're seated at tables. So I think that's the biggest thing for us, is just kind of getting back to what we intended.
Very good.
That's great.
So you're coming off of Restaurant Week. How was Restaurant Week for you?
It was really good. We did a 3-course menu and saw a lot of new people come in and check it out, and had a lot of good positive feedback. And we're excited to do that again in the fall. It's twice a year. So yeah, that was exciting too. And we saw a lot of takeout go out too for Restaurant Week participation. So that's a new angle that we'd never really, thought of before. So that was kind of born from the pandemic, and we will continue doing takeout and offering specials that way. So it's all positive stuff.
Chris, you you participate in a citywide happy hour. Is that right?
Well, we're about to. It's
Okay.
a thing that's starting in June, and I appreciate you mentioning it. And it's called Bourbon Time. The concept is that it's Jim Beam, Suntory, so it's like Jim Beam, Maker's Mark, Knob Creek, those brands. They're really it's a nationwide thing. You'll see it on TV coming up shortly. But here at the local level in Lancaster City, we're gaining restaurants to participate in a citywide happy hour that is reclaiming, a lot of people have been working from home or just not separating their life from work because they can do it remotely. So it really is kind of the concept of reclaiming time for yourself. So a lot of bars will offer those brands of bourbon at different times, but probably 6 to 7. And we're just trying to encourage people to come down, support the restaurants. If you're a bourbon drinker already, it's a no-brainer. But there's a lot of fun things that restaurants will do with it to feature it. And then I know at Decades, we're also trying to work in a charity aspect of things. So it'd be, possibly a slight discount to the consumer, but also a donation to several charities that you could actually choose which one your funds go to. So that's kind of our concept. We're still kind of defining that, but you will start to see things about Bourbon Time. And I encourage you to go out and kind of participate. The Lancaster City Restaurant Week website is not ready yet, but it will be the landing page for the Bourbon Time. So you can see all the restaurants that are choosing to participate and what they're offering. So kind of stay tuned for details. But as I said, you'll see that coming up in June.
Well, I'm a big fan of bourbon.
I was going to say that's like Jeff time.
Yeah, for sure. Booker's
bourbon and cheesesteaks.
Probably my. Yeah. Booker's I like.
Set the reminder.
It all. It's like I start down one road, then it's Michter's, then it's Maker's. It just doesn't end. If it's brown liquor, I'll drink it for the most part. And that's good. You're doing the charity. So you come in, you do the citywide happy hour. You get a great pour of your favorite bourbon, and you do some good. So you can actually nominate your own charity.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we plan to do at Decades. Each restaurant will be slightly different, and I'm not sure, that's kind of it's an optional thing, and we just decided that that's what we would like to do. It also runs from June through September, so there's quite a bit of time to kind of collect those funds and really make a bigger impact. And then it just kind of, that rolls right into Extraordinary Give season. So, we're excited about it and hope that restaurants will jump on the opportunity.
Yep. Is there anyone that you're supporting? If, say somebody says, I don't know, I'm kind of drawing a blank. Is there one or two or one that
are you talking about bourbons or restaurants?
I guess the restaurants, like you, somebody comes in for Decades and they don't have a charity they can think of for the happy hour aspect of things.
So what we're doing right now is we're actually talking to our staff and saying, what are the top 3 charities that are important to your family that you work with on a regular basis or have experience with? What do you find important? And so we've got a short list from that, and we're also doing the same with some of our customers and regulars, and just trying to get an idea of what are the charities that people find most important right now that will have the most impact. So we're actually going through that process right now. So if you're a consumer and you're coming to Decades for this kind of thing, it'll just be a little slip of paper. You buy the drink, you say, hey, here's the 3 charities that we're supporting. You check, and we take care of the rest for it. Nice and easy.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
You've mentioned the relationship with the Lancaster City Alliance. What difference have they made for Decades and for other Lancaster businesses?
So on speaking for Decades specifically, they helped kind of navigate a couple of interesting things. Like you said, we've got an arcade, bowling, restaurant, bar, a lot of different concepts in one building. and so the Lancaster City Alliance kind of helped us game plan. They helped us look for a building to an extent, and then they also kind of said, okay, you're going to need these potentially additional inspections or things that you need to consider because of your unique concept that we hadn't really thought about before. So they've been very helpful in that way. Speaking personally, I'm also very involved with Lancaster City Restaurant Week, and their Velocity event is actually their biggest fundraiser, and also allows them to sponsor Lancaster City Restaurant Week. So there's a working relationship there on multiple levels for me personally. And they have been a sponsor of Restaurant Week since its inception 8 or 9 years ago. So, they are very dedicated to all downtown businesses. They have kind of kickstarted and helped with the Lancaster Indie Retail Week to support all the retail shops. And honestly, from Decades perspective, they're all customers. Like, we see them on a regular basis. We see their names come up and when they're doing takeout. We see them in our dining room. We see them outside. They're just good people, and they just are here to help and help connect businesses that can support each other, and then offer just sound advice and direction. So anything that I've been involved with them, I think their result just winds up being a positive one for the city. And they're going to be also supporting in whatever way they can, and however that might be, to support the Bourbon Time effort this summer through the fall, and really just try and drive as many people downtown as possible to support our restaurants and retail shops and get people downtown. I mean, it's a great city, and we all love it here. So, I think as people learn what a special place we have, or kind of, hey, we've all got new routines from the last year, and maybe getting out and going downtown on a nice day, catching some music, and finding a spot to drink some bourbon and get some cheesesteak egg rolls. I mean, that we're done. We got a weekend.
That's right. So beyond the obvious, coming to bowl, coming to play arcade games, what other ways, as we kind of wrap up your segment here, how can people support Decades with the various other events you offer, just to put a nice little bow on this?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we have done a lot of catered events for businesses, and I know a lot of businesses some businesses are just now kind of thinking about returning to the office, and potentially need some team building opportunities. So, hosting an event is a tremendous way to support Decades. As an individual consumer, please come check out Decades in any way that you feel comfortable. We do offer takeout. We have outside seating for the summer, and we also have indoor seating, games, and bowling. So there's just a ton to do. Another good way to support really all restaurants right now is plan ahead, make a reservation, and then show up for your reservation, or let them know if your plans have changed. That way, with all the limitations on space and things that we're still navigating through, we are still doing that. And we will be for the next 2 weeks. As a whole, it's very tough. So anything that the consumer can make it easier on the restaurants to navigate is only going to benefit them, and better service and expectations and things like that. So, and I think, we also sell a bunch of merchandise. We've got shirts, gift cards, things like that. So a lot of the Decade stuff makes good presents, and, summertime, not really a gift giving time unless it's birthdays and stuff, but maybe again, plan ahead and look to the holidays already. So there's a lot of different things that you can do, but I think the best thing for people is just come check it out if you haven't been there.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Well, Chris, we really appreciate your time. We're coming into the home stretch. We'll bring you and Ann back on as we wrap up. All right. But thanks for your time. Really great venue. I'll definitely get my family out there, and my kid will look forward to embarrassing his dad as he rolls like a 257 and I barely make 100. So
yeah,
at any rate, thanks for joining us.
We have high score prizes, so he could get on the high score there. So that's something to consider.
He'll
But
probably
thank
try
you
to do
again for
that.
the opportunity,
Yep.
guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no sweat, no sweat. Well, part of what we do here at Lancaster Connects is we have our Lancaster Connects community. So if you've got a worthwhile cause that can make excellent use of the members of the Lancaster community volunteering their time, that's what our Lancaster Connects community is all about. Whether you have a good cause that needs volunteers or you want to donate your time to help out in the community, we want to hear from you. If you'd like to volunteer your time, you do that at lancasterconnects.com. You get entered into the free giveaway, you get on our list, and you just check the box confirming that you'd like to volunteer. Then we'll make note of that and get out the information to you as it comes to us. Imagine the difference that we could make to the Lancaster community if we each gave just 1 hour of our time. So if you have that good cause that can use some volunteers and that we can promote for you on our show, please get in touch via the contact form at lancasterconnects.com. And of course, please share the show. It's available as a podcast. You find all the links, all the helpful information at lancasterconnects.com. Sharing is caring. Leave a comment, tell a friend about the show, subscribe. And right now, we've got a quick rundown of our Lancaster Connects community events where you can help and volunteer some time.
Gardeners Recycling, that's us, Gardeners Mattress and More. We recycle used mattresses.
A lot of stuff.
And pallets. Nothing from a consumer's home ever makes it into the showroom, obviously, or our warehouse. It goes into a trailer in the back, and everything gets recycled, whether it's to a charitable organization like Off the Streets looking for bedding for homeless that they're helping to relocate, or other ways that we have to recycle beds. Nothing goes to the landfill. And same with pallets. There's Jeff's truck. We load up the pallets and take them to pallet recycling facilities.
In Strasburg, which actually get turned into mulch. So if you have a better vision for pallets beyond mulch that you then have to go buy, if you have pallet furniture, pallet wall art, we've got pallets. You can come get them. They sit on our property right behind the big white trailers. Just help yourself anytime. We're happy to have you have the pallets. If not, we get rid of them and they get upcycled into mulch. So we believe taking care of our community transcends into the environment, and that's just, there's the two trailers right there, and that trailer on the right of your screen fills up about every 10 days to 2 weeks, and none of that goes into the landfill. It gets recycled, upcycled. The best stuff, as Ben mentioned, finds its way to those in desperate need of something to sleep on, but for the most part, that stuff gets upcycled and recycled into various things in other industries. So that's that.
Yep. And from earlier, and from the Lancaster City Alliance, plugged their Adopt a Block and Adopt a Trash Can, and also Plant a Tree programs in her interview. An easy way to help your immediate community is to beautify its surroundings. Lancaster City Alliance makes that super easy for you. You can contact them today to request more information on their trash cleanup and programs, or you can even get a tree planted on your property for free. Just call 717-394-0783 for more information. Also go to lancastercityalliance.org for more information.
We mentioned earlier the car show and farmers market events at the Next Gen Community Center and what they're putting on there, but we also learned that this group has lots more going on. They have tons of programs targeted at helping seniors in our community live happier and healthier lives. They schedule social gatherings, take groups out for lunch, and pay the bill. They also have a food bank, and this is where we need the help of our community here. If you're able to donate canned goods or dry items like cereal, they will take them. One thing about their food bank, the food is available to anyone in need, not just the elderly they serve. So if you're able to donate canned food items, non-perishable food items, please visit their location on Monday, Wednesday, Friday between 9 and 2 to drop off your food donation. Again, Next Gen's Community Center is located at 184 South Lime Street in Quarryville. You can call them at 717-786-4770 for more information, or you can subscribe to Lancaster Connects and get all this information in one handy-dandy email sent to you each week, or you get the notification that the show's up with the notes, and you get all the information there too.
We've got a blood drive event. The EMS Week American Red Cross Blood Drive event is May 19th. 12 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. at Lancaster EMS, and that's at 100 East Charlotte Street in Millersville. And hey, get a Farm Show milkshake for $5 after you get blood.
We've got the Stevens Greenland Cemetery here in town. Memorial Day is quickly approaching. They do a really great job of cleaning up the cemetery, getting it ready for Memorial Day celebrations. Remember, Memorial Day is not about current veterans so much as it is about those who have passed on, died in service. So it's important that we honor them in the right way with the respectful grounds, clean gravestones, head markers, things like that. You can volunteer to help clean up. They're there every Saturday morning. You got 2 more opportunities for that between now and Memorial Day Monday. You can donate money for repairs and ongoing maintenance, and you can attend on Memorial Day to honor those who have served. The best thing to really do is just show up at Stephen Greenland Cemetery on Saturday mornings. And if you want to volunteer, go to LancasterConnects.com. You can subscribe and we'll send out all the information. There's a lot of information that goes along with this. Again, Benton Weber seems to be a great guy, wrote history, seems to be very into helping out those that have died in service and honor them on Memorial Day. So he provided this information to us.
And last but not least, we want to highlight the Grab and Go meal at the Crispus Attucks Community Center. That's every Tuesday and Thursday. The cafe at Crispus Attucks Community Center provides a free hot grab and go meal for the community. That's from 11 a.m. to noon. No ID or registration is required, but we do urge folks not to exploit this. This is really for families who are struggling right now. Crispus Attucks Community Center is at 407 Howard Avenue in Lancaster, and you can get more information at facebook.com/crispusattucks.lanc.
Once again, if you've got a good cause that we can promote for you, or you need people to volunteer their time, we'll put the word out right here for you on our show. Again, you get in touch at the central hub of everything Lancaster Connects at lancasterconnects.com. And keep in mind, this show is available as a podcast. Find the links at lancasterconnects.com. And please share, like the show, leave a comment, help us get engagement, help us grow the show so we can spread it across all of our social media channels.
I wonder if our guests have anything going on for Memorial Day.
I think I know Chris's plans, but we'll let Chris speak for himself.
Yeah, we're just we're getting ready and excited. We don't really have anything
Showtime
specific plan, but it'll be the first time that Decades looks like the Decades we wanted in a long, long time. So we're excited about that, and I think great. Our customers will be too.
I know that feeling. We did a major floor reset just as things shut down, and it was probably one of the saddest moments we had because we were very proud of what we've done, and we've since been able to welcome guests back. So I'm happy for you that you get to have that on Memorial Day weekend, for sure. And how about you? Any plans on Memorial Day weekend?
I'm going to Decades.
There you go.
All the talk of cheesesteak egg rolls and back to normal and sitting at the bar. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Very good.
Sounds great. I'll see you there.
That's great.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So we've got our pet of the week. All right. We always like to highlight pet of the week. We've got Cain and Abel. They are a bonded pair of dogs. So if you don't know what that is, they're 2 dogs that are together. They do best together. They're 15-month-old Plot Hound mixes, which I thought that was a typo, but it's not. So not a bloodhound, but a Plot Hound. They love playing with one another and will try to get the same toy or stick, no matter how many are laying around. This quickly turns into a game of keep away. They both enjoy walks. They walk well on their leash with a harness, and they're still working on their walking skills together, as both boys see it as a time to play with one another. They both have some puppy left in them. Cain and Abel get along well with 2 other dogs in the foster home. Those other dogs, for your information, are 16 years and 5 years old. Both of them weigh 50, 60 pounds about. Despite their size, they feel they're lap dogs. I'm familiar with that. Cain is a lovable, affectionate dog. He came to Pennsylvania with 3 wounds on his left leg. They were believed to be the result of a gunshot wound. 2 of the wounds healed well within a few weeks. His 3rd one, however, continued on with an infection and needed antibiotics and bandages changed. He never minded that, to the fact that he would just lay on his back and wait it out while they took care of him. Kane eventually had to have some surgery to remove some bone shards in his leg in order for it to heal. And after those weeks of recovery, his leg finally healed. Throughout the process, he never let that leg slow him down. He's very easygoing. He's got a laid back demeanor. He also believes he's a lap dog, so be prepared to cuddle. He loves to snuggle and will easily go belly up to enjoy belly rubs, which dog doesn't do that?
Yeah, right. And Abel is inquisitive in nature and loves to explore. When he first arrived in Pennsylvania, he was extremely scared to the fact that he was shaking in his crate. Abel is learning to trust humans and is very affectionate towards his foster family. Abel is a little more shy than his brother and takes a little longer to warm up to someone new. He always wants to be busy finding anything he can play with. Abel especially loves the kitchen and will wait for any food to drop while you are preparing dinner. He loves to be between you and the stove. He also loves to play fetch outside with a tennis ball. He likes to be in the middle of the hustle and bustle and will loyally follow you around the house. He also likes to walk on a leash with a harness. He also gets excited when it's time to eat and can be seen dancing. I dance around my food bowl in circles while he waits for his food to be poured. He will wait to eat until it's time to go ahead and eat.
So it sounds like a great pair. You know, we highlight these dogs because they need highlighting. It's, again, part of what our mission here is about. It's pretty easy to get a puppy. It's pretty easy for a puppy to be adopted. Pups like this, though, need a spotlight. They need you to think about maybe this is the way you give back to your community. When you rescue a dog, you actually save two dogs. You save the dog you're saving, and you save the next dog that might have been euthanized that now has a space in the shelter. In this case, you'd save four. The truth of the matter is most people that get a dog, a big chunk end up getting two, and you got what looks to be like two real great ones here. So they are crate and house trained. They're heartworm negative, up to date on vaccinations and neutered. They just need a home with a fence yard so they can run and play. I always think that's just good to have for a dog anyway. A little less stress for you and less stress for them. They've not had many interactions with children, so the rescue is recommending a home with kids that are 12 and older. Plus, they can help you with the pet care, and that's a good responsibility for children to have too. So they're handsome love bugs, just looking to spread their love and give the love only a rescue dog can give. They came to us through Charlie's Crusaders. You can find out more about Charlie's Crusaders at charliescrusaders.org. Follow them on Facebook at Charlie's Crusaders Pet Rescue. So if you know somebody looking for some dogs, looking for a dog, give these two boys a chance. I think they would make you very happy.
It's time for our restaurant gift card giveaway. Jeff, you were out and about in Lancaster City downtown buying gift cards to numerous restaurants. I think you visited Tellus 360, Annie Bailey's, Sakura, Isaac's Old San Juan, which is the Tap Room at Spring House, Park City Diner, Shot and Bottle, Cafe 18, Yorgo's Bistro, Barbare. You were all over.
Well, it sounds like I was all over, but really it was a block and a little bit.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, that's really what it was. So just kind of shows you the vibrancy of the city, all the stuff that goes on, all the things that were there. And, very, very cool experience. It was nice just to be out in the sun, which was our sleep better tip. What I would say, you saw Chris, him and his staff are all very excited to put on a first weekend of what hopefully becomes many, many weekends and days uninterrupted of normal operations. But the reality is for restaurants, and as customers, let's give them a little bit of patience, a little bit of grace. It's likely the kitchen staff at some restaurants might be entirely new or mostly new. Your hostesses, wait staff, support staff might all be new. There's a lot of turnover. There's a lot of headaches for a business owner right now of finding people to work. So be patient. I had some experiences like that where my patience was needed, but I understand it as a business owner because we've had those same hurdles in hiring new people here as we grow our company over the last year. So just keep that in mind as you go out. It sounds like Chris has got his finger on the pulse real well there at Decades, and I'm sure many others do, but it's going to be the first time they're ready to go. They want to be ready. You want to be out. Everybody wants to be out. So let's work together, have some patience. And Chris had shared a great tip. If you make a reservation, keep it. If you can't, please let them know, because once that time slot's gone, they can't flip that table anymore. All right. So let's help each other out.
Yeah. this week's gift card winners.
Who
two
won?
$25 restaurant gift cards. We've got Arlene Zur and Brian Fry. Thanks for entering our contest, which anybody can do at lancasterconnects.com. Enter the restaurant gift card giveaway, and maybe you'll be a winner. Support one of these local businesses downtown.
Yep. And you can enter for that chance to win those 2 gift cards from 2 local restaurants that we go pick. You can enter them at lancasterconnects.com. And it's real simple. We just pick the winners at random. And congrats, Arlene, and congrats, Brian. So, panel, we're in the home stretch. We're wrapping it up here. I got one last question for you. We really appreciate your time. Why should businesses set up or relocate in Lancaster? And what else can the city do to help attract new businesses into town?
So can I start this off, Ann? So
go for it.
I'm originally from here, and as much as I wanted to leave when I was younger, I immediately came back, and I could not see my family or my business anywhere else at this time. We love it here. All the partners are in the same boat. We've got a great staff, and the people in Lancaster are amazing. So for me, this is it. And I'm not coming from the outside, but this is where we want to be. So that's my 2 cents.
Very good. Well, we're glad you stayed.
Yep. Same as Chris. I grew up here, but left and came back after 10 years because where I was just wasn't nearly as cool. And but I think if you do business in Lancaster City, there is a supportive community to help you do the best that you can. And we look out for each other, and it's just a fun place to be. So, and your big idea is welcome here.
Yeah, very good. And, we talk a lot about Lancaster City. It gets a lot of the media press coverage, things like that. But the reality is it is interconnected. It is part of the broader county. It serves as the hub, kind of the hub and the spokes that make everything go round. And, it's important that our city is vibrant because then our communities are vibrant. So thank you both for being a part of that. Bringing Decades and what that vision looks like to fruition. That's very cool. And great to have you on and see that you've been such a great part of bringing great businesses like Decades to the forefront of things and to where they can turn on that open sign. So on that note, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate your time. This has been another episode of Lancaster Connects in the books. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Thank you so much. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Get Super Cereal.